Here's the 30-minute price chart for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME. As we can see here, we're having a very strong trading day. And what I want to point out here, we're seeing a price gap higher. And what I want to point out here is the fact that some people might not see this as being a significant move, but there are several reasons which explain why this is a significant move. If you watch the other YouTubers that are covering this stock, I think they miss most of the point here. They're kind of looking for, they're kind of reading their horoscope and coming up with these bizarre reasons that AMC is going to AMC and GameStop are going to short squeeze next Tuesday or whatever. And these projections just never turn out to be right. A lot of these quote unquote financial YouTubers really kind of miss the point here. And they miss these smaller price moves that really kind of suggest that bigger price moves might be ready to start taking place. So, in particular, what I want to point to, first is the fact that we are gapping higher here. And why is this significant today? One reason I would point to would be the fact that, many stocks are seeing very significant declines here. And what I'm talking about would be the Mag 7 stocks. Not all of them. There's a bit of a mixed picture there. But if you look at it, I suggest people that are watching these videos go watch my video on Nvidia that I just posted, or Meta Platforms, the Facebook parent company. Those stocks are falling through the floor right now, especially Meta. Meta is having a really difficult time. But Nvidia is also forcing itself to very significant lows here, and some fairly major support zones are breaking there. But as we can see here, the opposite is now occurring with GameStop. Um, so this is significant. Why? Because it suggests that these traditionally safe names, these Mag 7 stocks, these are the largest companies in the world at this point. They're trading under major selling pressure. And this is the type of activity that really should be dragging down the rest of the market. But as this is happening, what is going on with GameStop? We're seeing a gap higher. We're seeing a price gap higher. So, these are significant price moves simply due to the fact that, they're kind of not following the trajectory of the rest of the market. These quote unquote safe trading stocks are kind of collapsing here. I mean, you could definitely say that about Meta Platforms at this point. But even the Nvidia chart is starting to look much weaker. Um, but this is not occurring with GameStop, and the same thing is true to, perhaps to a lesser extent with AMC. But these are fairly significant moves higher. They might not match the short squeeze, event that a lot of these people claim is coming. It's imminent. Watch this video before tomorrow, but watch this video before GameStop short squeezes tomorrow. Does anybody notice that these videos never come true? I mean, I don't understand why people watch these at all. Like, people tune in regularly every day. Like, they're hanging on every word these people are saying. Like, when is it going to happen? They're never right. Like, do people notice this? They're never right. Like, a broken clock is supposed to be right twice a day. A broken clock. These people aren't even right that often. It's not even, it's not even occasionally they're right. They're never right. So, in order to figure out what's going on here, you have to actually look at the price charts themselves, and you really have to compare these things to what is going on in other parts of the market. So I suggest people look at the Nvidia video that I just posted. Look at the Meta Platforms video that I just posted. What is happening to those stocks? Why is GameStop gapping higher here? It's small. It's not a huge price move, but anything positive is a fairly significant move, in my opinion. If you're seeing the largest companies in the world, the most quote unquote stable companies in the world, shedding significant amounts of market cap in a short period of time, why is GameStop gapping higher? I mean, what's going on here? So, in my view, what really is going on here is the fact that short sellers are kind of having to take steps back here. They're having to retreat. And this is really the way that people need to be looking at this. You can't look at, irrelevant parts of the market. I've mentioned there was another video that was recent where there was a sell-off in Bitcoin, and then someone pointed to AMC and they were like, "This also happened last time AMC short squeezed, so that means it's going to happen again." Bitcoin sells off all the time. I mean, all the time Bitcoin is selling off. It doesn't mean there isn't an AMC short squeeze every time it happens. It's completely ridiculous. What you have to do is watch the actual price chart and look for important levels here. So, currently what we're looking at is a resistance level of 2866. This would be the high that was posted earlier today. This would be this kind of gap spike high above here. We do have a little bit of a risk currently because, if you look into this price gap here, you can see that prices might need to fill this price gap here going forward. If we're not able to kind of find support levels at say 2741, thereabouts, roughly 2740. We really do kind of need to find support here, because if that does not happen, we're probably likely to fill this price gap. You can't really have gaps in the market. There are still buy and sell orders that are parked there. They're going to have to get tripped eventually if we fall back into that price zone. So if that were to happen, you would also be losing this support level from this yellow line here, which is the 20 period exponential moving average. Fortunately, this orange line is also rising somewhat sharply. And we should come into contact with with the bottom of the price gap, which is seen at roughly $27. So that should provide some support here if we do drop lower and we do need to fill this price gap. So these will be levels to watch here, because price gaps can make things erratic and unpredictable, because eventually the prices are going to need to fill that gap if we fall into the gap. The only kind of hope that that doesn't happen would be that, if we see if we see an upward spike here in prices, and prices are able to kind of find support at roughly 2740. So if we can maintain ourselves above that level, then we might not need to fill the price gap. So that's really how that works. Overall, the outlook here does remain bullish. We've seen some small periods of decline here in the relative strength index. That's the purple line down here, which suggests that negative momentum could be building. That's kind of this white line here. But as we can see, this region broke, and this negative trend momentum is no longer active in the market. So this is a trend that's no longer developing. But what we can see here is that there's a much longer term trend that is still pointed in the positive direction. So I understand this isn't the clickbait that many people seem to want to hear. But what you really need to see, if you're actually going to experience a short squeeze in GameStop, what you need to see is short selling activity that continues to retreat and take further steps back, so that they have to establish their positions at higher and higher levels. Fortunately, that does seem to be what we're seeing here. I understand it's not the huge price move that some people want to see near term, but this is the type of activity that needs to take place first. You need to form a base, which is what we have done at roughly. I want to call this $22.30 would be the sort of the major long-term resistance here. Sorry, support. So we've kind of formed a base, just in the lower 220s, and we're seeing a continuation here of higher highs. So what this means to me is that short sellers are continue to have to take a step back here and establish their positions at higher and higher levels. You want to know what is actually going to cause a short squeeze? It's not Mercury's in retrograde, and this is the third full moon of the year. And Bitcoin collapsed, and all of those events happened, and that means that AMC or GameStop is going to short squeeze. It does not work like that. You have to actually watch the price charts themselves. Here's the current market analysis for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME.